Very good morning to all. Hope you all are doing well and you are quite well at your home. Let us start with today's class. Today we are going to discuss the remaining part of Gray's elegy written in a country churchyard. Let me remind you that this poem mourns the death of the poor rustic people who remained unhonored and no opportunities were given to them during their lifetime, though they had great potential. The next part that we are going to discuss is an epitaph. Epitaph actually refers to certain lines which are written on the grave of someone who is dead. So here in these lines mark the beginning of the three stanzas forming the supposed epitaph of the poet on his grave. Gray imagines that he too would die one day. He would be buried in the churchyard. Gray desired that the following lines should be written on his grave. Anyone who passed that way would read them. What are these lines? Let us read the first stanza. Here rests his head upon the lap of earth, a youth, to fortune and to fame unknown. Fair signs found not on his humble birth, and melancholy marked him for her own. Here means at this place, in this very graveyard, rests his head upon the lap of earth. The poet is lying dead or lying buried at this particular place. His head is lying upon the lap of the earth. A youth to fortune and to fame unknown. Fortune means one who is very prosperous and wealthy. To fame, fame means reputation, popularity. Unknown. During his lifetime, the poet could neither acquire fame nor fortune. He was not fortunate, nor he could get any popularity. Fair science. Science here refers to the knowledge, not specifically science language, science subject, but it is talking about the knowledge. Frowned not, was not angry with. On his humble birth. On his humble birth means when he was born in a poor family. Frowned not on his humble birth means looked favorably on him at the hour of his birth. When he was born, it was supposed that he was very talented, as the forefathers predict. Marked him, and melancholy marked him for her own. Melancholy means sadness, seriousness. Marked him for his own. Melancholy regarded him as her favorite child. So here in these lines the poet says that on his epitaph would figure the following lines. In this grave lay the body of the poet who never got any fortune or wealth or fame in his life. He lived a very simple and ordinary life, but he was able to obtain enough knowledge to make him happy in life. He was knowledgeous. He was votary of learning and knowledge, and these were the proud possessions of his life. He was a melancholic youth and was temperamentally very serious and sober. Let us come to the second stanza. Large was his bounty, and his soul sincere. Heaven did a recompense as largely send. He gave to misery all he had, a tear. He gained from heaven, it was all he wished, a friend. Here in these lines, the poet says, large was his bounty. Bounty means he was very charitable. He used to help others. And his soul sincere. His soul sincere means he was very earnest and sincere in all the works in his life. Whatever he did, he was very sincere towards that. He was very much honest towards that. Heaven did a recompense as largely sent. Recompense means to reward someone for any help, for any work he is doing. Heaven did a recompense as largely sent. He gave to misery all he had, a tear. Misery, the miserable people. Misery here is abstractly used for all the people who are very much miserable in their lives. All he had, all that he possessed and could possibly give to other. Tear. Tear means feelings of sorrow and sympathy. When you are sorrowful, when you are having any sympathy for anyone, then tears roll down from your eyes. He gained from heaven. He gained from heaven. Heaven means, heaven here is used for God. A friend, possibly God himself. It was all he wished, a friend. Perhaps Gray has West in his mind when he is thinking of a friend, because as we all know, as I told you in the beginning, that this poem was composed after the death of his dear friend West. So the poet here says that he was very rich in his charities, he was very liberal in his gifts, he had a sincere soul, he was very much honest, and apart from these noble virtues, he did not possess much wealth and fortune. All that he had got was his capacity to sympathize with the poor people. He sympathized with the miserable and wretched persons whenever he met them. For all this noble work, he could get from God all that he desired to have, namely the gift of a friend. The poet perhaps received the friendship of God himself, or the friendship of an early friend like West, whom he considered as a novel of his on the earth. Let us come to the next stanza. No further seek his merits to disclose or draw his frailties from their dread abode. There they alike in trembling hope repose the bosom of his Father and his God. No further seek his merits. Merits means virtues, the good qualities, to disclose, to find out, or draw his frailties. Frailties means the weaknesses. Dread abode, bosom of God. From their dead abode, there they alike in trembling hope repose. There they alike, the merits and the weaknesses alike. Trembling hope, hope for his merits and fear of his frailties. The bosom of his Father and his God. Father here refers to God, omnipotent, who is just like Father to everyone. So, here in these lines the poet says, no further seek his merits to disclose or draw his frailties from their dread abode. His frailties means his weaknesses will be buried with him like his virtues. He lies in peace. The word dread is used in the sense of awesome. He rests in God's protection, and the epitaph marks his grave, which is the final place of rest. So, the poet requests the passerby not to make a further inventory of his virtues and vices after his death. They are both lying with God, because he had found a place in Abraham's bosom, or the God's bosom, after his death on the earth. So here your poem is completed, and I hope you have understood it. And if further you have any problem, you can ask me on phone, or you can message me for that. And I have given you certain PDF notes as well for the text, and I will also provide you one or two PDF files as well, so that you can have a better understanding for this poem. Wish you all the best.